This is all kind of last minute stuff. We just figured this out a few days ago. Can you believe that? This whole like spontaneity thing is kind of weird.
Yeah, but I've enjoyed booking last minute, saying where do we want to go next?
Remind me next time. I think it's a good idea to do a 3-day in a row travel trip. That I don't like those. Remind me that.
This is part of RV life that we don't show a lot of, just little bits and pieces here and there. We didn't plan on putting this video together, but after I was sorting through all of our footage, we kind of had a light bulb go off and say, this might be something that we want to share.
We always try to show you the good, the bad, the ugly, and all that is full-time RV life. But we don't always show a lot of the travel days, even though that's a big part of it.
Actually, that is a huge part of RV life, right? It's not just the destination and the fun things that you do in your destination, but it's also the actual how to get from point A to point B to point C, D.
And not kill each other.
yeah. And so we wanted to share with you some of the ways that we travel, because we had 3 days in a row, which is not what we like.
My fault.
We're doing something that I hate now.
Travel days.
Well, 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
I hear you. Until last night, I thought we were traveling for 2 days in a row.
We are.
3 days.
But we're also traveling for 2 days. There's 3 days just a bonus.
Dad jokes are... No. Now's not the time for dad jokes. 3 days of travel, over 1,000 miles to get to the next place where we're going. But we're tired of smoke and we're tired of heat. So
fires.
We're going to Colorado again. This is all kind of last minute stuff. We just figured this out a few days ago. Can you believe that? This whole like spontaneity thing is kind of weird.
Yeah, but I've enjoyed booking last minute, saying where do we want to go next?
I don't like that I worry until we book something. I stress out about it until we actually book something. I'm gonna be there for 2 weeks, so it should be nice. I'm hoping that we can just get some relaxing in. Just flipping a Yui.
For us, on a typical day of travel, we like to cap it around 300 miles. 400 is usually our max if we can help it. And for this particular 3-day trip, it was actually about 350 miles each day.
Yeah, over 1,000 miles total. Because we're so large, travel days are a little bit different for us, and anybody with a large RV knows that it can be more work to set up and break down.
For sure.
And for us in particular, because of our office and our motorcycle and our tonneau cover, I mean, it's a lot to set up and break down. So that's why we keep our plans usually to 10 days or more. If we were moving every week or every few days like some people, we would be spending a good chunk of our time just breaking down, setting up, moving. That's not fun. When we want to stop and take a break just to stretch or for lunchtime, we like rest areas the best.
Arriving at Valmy Rest Area on the right.
Better than truck stops because they're a little bit quieter.
Yes.
A lot of times not as crowded. They're typically wider sites, so we can park right on the edge and get one slide out.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not so much chaos going on like at a truck stop, and you can relax a little bit more. Typically, I have a big meal prepared or a big batch of soup or stew or something that we can eat off of for a couple of days so that we don't have to worry about finding a place that also has food, because that's usually fast food and, unhealthy, or you don't know what your options are going to be. We try to have our stops planned ahead of time, or at least an idea of some stops. We don't always follow those stops, just depends on how we're doing, if we need to stop or not, but we like to have some stuff planned in advance just in case.
Yeah, and the way we do that is usually with our Garmin. The night before, when we're planning our travel, I will just hit the rest area and just see how many rest areas are coming up, and if there's several, I don't worry about it.
If you guys have more questions about how we go about our trip planning and reservations, and especially because we have such a large rig, well, you are in luck, because our next live stream, aka Carpool Lane, is going to be all about how we go about trip planning, and we're going to have some guests on.
So we'll be able to take your questions at that time.
Go ahead and ask your questions about how we trip plan in the comments. We also like to have our fuel stops planned out, or at least a good idea of how spaced out they are. We tend to like the truck stops the best for fuel.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen our big RV in the truck lanes video, we use a thing called a TSD card, TSD Open Roads. It's a fuel card, and that can save you a lot of money, but the biggest benefit for us is just using the truck lanes and not having to go inside. We can go there, we can swipe, put in a code, and fill up with these super fast diesel pumps.
Yes.
Now it is diesel only, but if you're in a big RV, you're probably in a diesel RV or a diesel truck with a big RV like we are, and that can be a big time saver, and you can save a lot of money.
We all know that prices right now on fuel are really high. So having any kind of discount will definitely help you out.
Yeah. For more information on that, we'll have some links down below to a specific video we did.
Travel days are my least favorite part of RV life.
Yeah, mainly because of your illnesses.
Yeah, well, it's just hard on me. It's very taxing on my body, riding around in that rough truck.
Oh yeah, awesome.
And just being in the seated position all day long. You know, it's usually kind of tough.
Yeah, and it's different for each of us too. I mean, travel days aren't as rough on me because I'm healthy. I can't put that in air quotes.
He could be healthier if he tried.
I could be healthier. But also, most of my work is done the day before travel on T24. So if you haven't seen our camp setup and breakdown video, you should go check that out.
Some of the best things about travel days is actually just seeing new places, new areas. Even if we don't get to stop and actually explore there, we get to see new things.
No idea what that was. Weird.
It looks like a dry lake bed, but it's not low enough.
That's really pretty neat because there's a lot of beautiful things to see.
Really, really cool, and some really, really strange.
For this particular 3-day trip, we happen to have 2 overnight stops at RV parks, which we don't always do it that way. It just happened that way because that's what was available. Sometimes we look for Harvest Hosts or Boondockers Welcome, things like that.
Yeah, those are our go-to for overnighters. But if there's not one conveniently along the route that can accept this large of an RV, then we'll just start looking for RV parks.
Plus, it was still hot because it was August and it was smoky outside, so having the windows open, that's not ideal, and it was just hot. So we thought RV parks would be a little bit more comfortable for us as well. We finally arrived to Angel Lake RV Park in Wells, Nevada, our first stop.
Is this it after this comfort here?
Yeah.
No, we get up.
Oh yeah, after the comfort.
Yeah, can you hear me in there?
Yes.
All right, looks like we're going to 22 right here.
Look out for that very large tree there.
Got it.
Yeah, this lane's pretty wide, so we should be okay.
Yeah, we can take a look at the back.
Holy crap, it's hot. You see this tree right here?
Yeah, we're just brushing it.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to come back any more than this. I think we might be good right where you are.
We're sticking way out up here.
I mean, don't listen to me, you know. These are the joys, people, of living full-time in an RV and traveling and being just the two of us all the time. You know, we get cranky.
Hungry and angry, you hangry.
It kind of made me chuckle when I was watching the footage because you know how everybody jokes about, like, sorry for what I said when we were parking the camper? That stuff happens, and I think it's kind of common, and I think a lot of people can relate to, you know, we didn't fight, but it was just a little, like, you get a little bit cranky, and sometimes I think that I know better with how far you should park back, and you think you know better, and it's just, I'm the one that's out there. Just saying. Anyhow, it made me chuckle.
Problem is we're a little bit nosed down here, and I came out and I manually brought the nose up until I can tell that the pin box just takes pressure off of the hitch. I don't want to go higher than that because then we're lifting the truck with the pin box, and that's not good.
Okay, can you explain to them a little bit more about what you mean when you say manual?
Yeah, our manual process of leveling is a little bit different than some others. I mean, some others, you know, you got to get a drill or a crank or something. We have the Lippert auto level system, which when we're set up and we get off the truck, it's one button and it just levels itself. It's got 6 jacks and it does it all magic, and it just does it. When I say manual, I mean manually overriding the controls either on my phone or on the control pad over here and manually adjusting each section.
We got a lot of crap online when we posted that YouTube short that we did about manual leveling.
He says manual, then he breaks out the app.
Yeah.
Since this hitch has a full path down, I can unhitch it and then lift the pin straight out, and then in the morning I can put the pin straight back down and then just kind of front and back real quick to rehitch it. So now the jaws are off and I should be able to lift it straight up.
Still lifting the truck.
I tried to lift straight off the hitch and it got hung. And it's about 50-50 on whether or not you'll get hung or not from our experience. But it's super simple just to pull the truck forward a couple of inches, then you can raise it up and do your manual leveling that way.
And then in the morning, you just back it right back up.
Yeah, it's all lined up. So all you do is drop it a couple inches, back into it, done.
Which is what we did on day 2, heading out from Wells, Nevada to the KOA in Rock Springs, Wyoming. This was another almost 350-mile day. Whew. The roads this day weren't the greatest. We did hit quite a few rough patches.
It was I-80 again.
It's rough, guys. It can be rough out there.
Day 2 of our long journey. You ate already. Oh, she's finding hidden pieces of food that she buries underneath her little cover. You still hungry? Our stop tonight somewhere in Wyoming.
Yep.
I can't remember where. And that part last night was okay. It was loud. He didn't notice.
Well, yeah, we're right next to the highway.
Right next to the highway, and our jacks were popping. Anytime I fell asleep, then our jacks would pop. It would wake me up.
The front jacks were extended quite a bit. We've added that cat anti-stiction fluid so many times, and the whole thing's probably anti-stiction fluid by now.
But we haven't had that issue in quite a while, so I don't know if it was just they were extended too much or it was the gravel that we were on wasn't quite stable.
I slept great.
He slept great, of course, because, that's just how it always goes. It's awfully flat.
Very flat.
With some hills over there.
Salt flats.
Salty.
Want to go lick it.
Salty. Another awesome thing is these fabulous roads that we seem to find everywhere.
Yeah, no state is immune from crappy roads.
And we have independent suspension.
Oh yeah. Imagine how it would have been like before. Crazy.
One good thing that did happen was we had another day of rest areas that were pretty wide open,
Empty.
which I love that.
It's like we got the whole place to ourselves.
Right.
Also, we normally just put this slide out. We have a way of locking down one slide or the other, and we'll put out this slide so we can get to the table.
By this slide, he means the passenger side of the rig.
But in situations like this, we can put this slide out too, so we don't worry about it.
It's nice because then I don't have to reach over the island to try to get to the microwave to try to heat up our lunches. So it just makes things more convenient. No big deal if we can't put that slide out, because that's usually how it is, and we just work around it. But yeah, we got really, really lucky with rest stops for this trip. It was nice.
It was really strange.
Yeah. Daisy wanted me to ask you if you could do us a big favor and click that like button and please subscribe to our channel because that really helps us out.
A ton.
Thanks, everybody.
In 2.25 miles, keep right to I-80 East. Turn left.
I did.
Arriving at Rock Springs Green River Coa on the right.
Oh, is this it?
Yep.
Whoa.
We're here.
So we got pulled into our site, and clearly this has to be a site only used for overnight guests because the view from this site was something else.
It was different.
This is the view from our window. Yes, that is the view from the window. This would be super fun if you had kids traveling with you, but I don't think that you want this site if you're going to be there for more than an overnight stay.
It's a weird site.
But other than that, it really seemed like a pretty nice KO.
Yeah.
Day 3.
Last day, we go to our destination today. You excited, Daisy?
She's so excited.
Like,
See?
I don't know the difference.
Daisy. You met another Morkie that looked the exact opposite of you, huh? And you weren't very nice. I'm telling your fans that you weren't very nice.
Daisy, you were kind of a jerk.
I guess you just didn't like that dog. I don't know.
Day 3 of this journey was going from Rock Springs into Granby, Colorado, which is the best part. You're getting to your destination.
Yes.
That's the exciting part.
We love it.
Remind me, next time I think it's a good idea to do a 3-day in a row travel trip, whatever. I haven't had enough coffee yet. That I don't like those. Remind me that. 2 days in a row is probably my limit, but
And 200, 250 days is totally different from 350-ish
yeah,
days.
we've had some long days. So home stretch today, and where we're going is going to be in the mid 70s during the day and in upper 40s at night. I am excited.
And it's September. No,
August. It's August 15th or something like this. August 14th. We're both wrong. Daisy, you get to hang out with your friend Peanut. Yeah, you excited?
And the views, of course, were getting more and more gorgeous as we went.
It was the last leg of our journey. For lunch this time around, we got lucky.
Yeah.
This one wasn't planned, we just saw it.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do sometimes. You know, we love rest areas, but those are usually only along interstates. So when you get into these areas where you're traveling on other state roads or highways or whatever, sometimes it's just a matter of finding a place to pull over.
And man, we found a nice
It
one.
was nice.
In this little spot, we can actually have all the sides out, and I can cook, and it's very nice. Other times, we're at a truck stop, and it's not so pretty, it's not so pleasant. So every travel day is a little bit different. Why do they smell so bad? This guy can't smell anything, so he doesn't know, but they smell like pee. And so I looked it up, and apparently a lot of truckers, pee in a jug, and they dump it on the ground.
That's gross, dude.
Yeah.
It's gross. I know some people spend the night in truck stops, but I wouldn't want to do
We've
that.
heard they're loud because the
Of
APUs
course.
and the trucks are running.
But they are very convenient at the same time, so we do always go there to fuel up. But
Yeah, we've never stayed at one overnight. We've
No.
never stayed at a rest area overnight. We've never stayed at a Walmart. Yeah.
Continue in Wyoming 130.
So breathe, darling, you can make my love your home, make my love your home, and please, darling, do.
real quick, we want to talk a little bit about courtesy to others while you are on the road, towing your large RV or driving your large RV.
Or even if it's just a slow RV. It can be difficult, right? When you're driving, maybe you're going uphill, even with our setup. Sometimes we get slow and it's not by choice. Sometimes we're even just at the speed limit and people behind us don't want to go the speed limit. That's pretty common. Any of those situations, I always look for places to pull over to let people go by.
So breathe, darling, you can make my love your home, make my love your home.
You're wondering, that is not a tow vehicle behind that RV.
No.
The RV could have pulled over a couple of times and should have.
We also don't know what the circumstances were, so perhaps they were experiencing a problem with their RV.
There you go. There's your place to pull over.
Do it. Oh, we always pull over if there are people lagging behind us and we are going slow. If there's a place for us to pull over and it's safe, we do.
I mean, this guy is going under the speed limit, usually by about 10 to 15 miles per hour under.
We're going through the mountains, but There was a place right back there that he could have pulled right over.
I've counted 3 places so far this guy could have gotten over.
I mean, mind you, the guy that was on his butt like he was not cool either.
It could also be a new RVer who's scared to pull over, and people have different levels of experience. Some people are comfortable, some aren't. If you're comfortable, pull over, give the people behind you a chance to get ahead.
I think for us, this was day 3 of a 1,000-mile trip, and we were getting so close to our destination, and then we get stuck behind it. And
Come on, man!
We were a little bit hangry and cranky, and it just didn't sit well with us at the time.
Like everything else in RVing, it's all about your attitude and how you handle it.
Occasionally, very rarely though, does our Garmin give us the wrong directions.
Yeah.
It happened this time.
There's nice hardware, doesn't necessarily mean projects.
That's how we pick our locations.
Turn left at the traffic light.
This one was my fault because the updated address, because it was a brand new park, wasn't in there. It kind of just had the center of the city, I think. So we drove to the center and it wasn't there.
Turn right on East Jasper Avenue.
So how far away does it say we are?
It says it's down here on the right, but it doesn't seem quite right, does it?
Arriving at River Run RV Resort
Okay,
on the
this is
right.
It says it's right here. Typically what I do was I'll use Google Earth and Google Street View to look at things, but this thing was so new it wasn't even in any of those tools. So let me just turn on hazards here.
It says we're 2.8 miles away, according to Google.
I'm calling.
The main road again.
Thank you for calling River Run, a Sun RV resort.
Good afternoon, River Run. Can I help you?
Hi, we're trying to find you guys.
Okay, where are you?
We're on Jasper
Lane.
and 2nd Street.
Are you on 40?
We just got off of 40 a couple blocks
Yeah,
ago.
we're just a couple blocks
Okay, go
off
back
40.
to 40.
Okay. What direction on 40 do you know?
Make a right.
Okay. I think we've passed it. I see
Oh, you
it.
think we passed it?
See here.
Where are we?
Well, we're here.
Oh, okay, so we need to go back. I see.
Yeah. Yeah, we're only like 3 miles away from you.
I don't even know if you're 3 miles away from us, honestly. You're probably closer.
Is there anything we should look for? Like, are there signs on the road?
You're going to see Highway 34,
Okay.
and then we are going to be on the left, like a quarter of a mile.
Perfect. All right. We'll see
Yeah.
you soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. Okay. Bye-bye.
The Garmin, usually I can just pick a city and say all campgrounds, and usually it's right there. I just pick it. So River One was on there, but all it had for the address was East Jasper Avenue. So it just took us to the middle of East
Yeah.
Jasper Avenue, which was right in the middle of downtown.
We only got a couple miles off track, so no big deal. And they were really nice. We just have to turn around and go past the hardware store
It's
again.
closer to the Ace.
Closer to the Ace. Elk and buffalo jerky. I'll buy some. So River Run, this park is new, and it looks like it's one of those places with all kinds of amenities. I think I saw there's a restaurant.
Drive till my heart starts beating. Windows down, wanna feel that feeling. No, I don't need a reason.
Looks pretty nice. Looks like there's a walking trail back there. There's a lake, or a pond, I should say. See? There's a beach.
There's that RV we were behind.
Shut up, he's gonna get there first now. Son of a gun.
All right, I'm pulling forward to straighten up, and I'm gonna back up.
Yeah, you're gonna have to hold on for a minute now. There's a couple cars coming. Start backing up. Come on back. Okay, you're at the street. You can keep cutting it in. Excellent, excellent. Okay, you're straight now.
Easy peasy. Come on up.
Okay.
It's surprising for an RV park, they made these lanes so narrow. Through there, at least.
Yeah, the entrance part. These
Yeah.
little cabins are nice. There's a general store. Oh, I like places that have stores and restaurants and stuff.
Here we are.
I'm able to get out.
So keep going so you can get the patio down.
Yeah, I want to probably have most of our RV forwards because of the slope.
Oh, yeah, okay.
This park is enormous.
Oh,
We
yeah.
can't wait to share all of the amenities that this park has and all of the fun that we have while we were there. I'm excited just
We
thinking
love
about it.
Colorado.
Oh gosh, we had so much fun. Motorcycle rides, four-wheeling, hiking, eating.
We did all that?
We did all that. He never remembers until I show him the video, and then he's like, oh yeah, that
I
was
remember
fun.
going there.
Stay tuned.